This is the human heart. Central to our physical body, our survival, revered by poets throughout history as the emotional center of our being. The place we instinctively touch when asked to point to ourselves. And now, what we have known intuitively is being understood scientifically. Researchers are unlocking a new science of the heart that could change everything we know about health and our interconnected nature. Coherence is a state of balance between heart, mind, and emotions, creating a favorable cascade of neural, hormonal, and biochemical events that benefit the entire body. But this phenomenon not only benefits us personally, it affects everything around us, emitting an electromagnetic field that can be measured up to 3 feet outside of the body. When you are in coherence, your heart resonates at the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. This frequency positively affects everything around you. When a group of people are in coherence together, this effect is magnified. Could communities synchronized in coherence lower violence, accelerate cooperation, and global harmony? This is the purpose of the Global Coherence Pulse. If we can measure the impact of thousands of people in coherence at the same time, it could lead to a breakthrough in understanding the full potential of the human heart. All you need to participate is your presence and your heart. To take it to the next level, join the research study by downloading the app and getting an HRV monitor to measure your personal coherence. The world needs it more than ever before. Each human heart is unique and magnificent by itself. But imagine what could be possible when we unify.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our September Global Coherence Pulse. I love being on the meeting line and can see all of your faces. And if you haven't turned on your camera and you're open to doing it this morning, it's so nice for us to see each other and see our smiles. I saw a cat tail, made me miss my cat, Karen. They're both back at home. My mom's taking care of them. They love being with us when we're practicing coherence, don't they? They come right up and they come right in. Patricia, lovely to see you. Deborah, so many friendly faces. We're from all around the world, always on the Global Coherence Pulse. And whether we're a big, giant group or we're a small, intimate group, the power of our collective coherence makes a difference. It kind of changes our own body and chemistry and supports us to ground and anchor and be able to show up more fully in the face of whatever we're facing with a lot more love and grace. And when we do it in a community like this, the field that we put out into the world has an impact. It really does. As HeartMath said, it's not the number of people that come together and practice coherence. It's the quality of their presence. And so let's have this time that we spend together over the next hour and a half, let's have the quality of our presence infuse us with more energy and more relaxation and more healing. And let's really pulse the planet on this first day of Peace Week, on this kind of new moon energy that's coming through. Let's pulse the planet with some powerful love and joy today. And as you can see, we're doing Be Love Principles, clarity and confidence through divine connection. And we get to be with a new friend, Diane Hayworth. I knew I was going to get it wrong, Hayworth. And so we're excited that we'll be able to introduce somebody new. But before we do that, if you have the Global Coherence Pulse app, and you want to download and just register yourselves in the global group, it's a great thing to do. The new camera sensor makes it so that we can kind of track our coherence, and they're coming out with a whole new something, I was told, in October. So if you start to use the app, there might be more for us to play with. As I said, it's Peace Week, so we want to send some good energy to Ben Bowler and John Raymer and to all of the people that are hosting the Peace Week activities. We always seem to have a global coherence pulse right at the beginning of World Unity Week and Peace Week, so we'll send our grace ahead of that week-long celebration. I also remember we had Justin Michael Williams with us, one of our pulses, and he engaged us in the chat in a way that I thought would be fun today as we bring in Diane to play with us. And that is, if somebody in the chat shares something that resonates with you, or Diane says something, or I say something, then you just type in 1111111, as many ones as you want. And that's just a way for us to just start to see that we're connecting, we're resonating with what's being said, we're having a response to it that begins to stir inside of us. So before I introduce Diane, let's just take a minute to really put this intention that this hour and a half that we have today is for our own nourishment, for our own healing, our own upliftment. As we focus our energy in the center of our own heart. And we slow our breath down just a little bit so that we can settle. And let's set an intention that the quality of our love and joy today ripple out across this planet to every place that needs it. Every place that needs it. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful that I get to be with you every month like this. It just really touches my heart so deeply. I can feel us. I can feel us. So I'm going to introduce Diane, and Kaylin, would you just bring her on so we can see her beautiful smiley face as well as I introduce her. Welcome, Diane. Really happy to have you with us. So Diane Hayworth is passionate about connection. Perfect for us. She is a heart-centered success coach, speaker, author, TV host, and founder of Be Love Principles, who combines traditional coaching techniques with deep spiritual truth to help clients connect to their own inner wisdom and become more clear, calm, and confident. Wow, let's generate some of that clear, calm, and confident presence today. In May of 2018, she had a direct divine experience where she received the Be Love Principles and is committed to spreading their message around the globe. She is a student of the Enneagram and the Course in Miracles. She's the author of How to Choose Love When You Just Want to Slap Somebody. I love that. And a member of the Evolutionary Leaders. Diane lives with her husband, Joe, and Roy the cat in the beautiful foothills of the Virginia Blue Ridge Mountains and is close to her adult children and beloved grandson. Wow, it's so nice to have you with us and for us to learn something new today with the Be Love Principles and to share in the transmission that you received in the way that you're going to guide us to. So thank you, Diane, for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank all of you, whether you're here live or you're going to see this on the recording. Everyone's presence matters. And I don't have to tell you all that our willingness to be love on the planet right now for ourselves, our families, our communities, and the world, that's what brings us together. And thank you, Teresa. Thank you to Jennifer Hill, who introduced me to you all. I am so grateful. I'm especially grateful because I know most of you have not heard about the Be Love Principles. And you come because you really trust Teresa and the Global Coherence Plus. So yay, thank you so much for that. I hope that you'll get a lot out of this. Let me share with you the intention for the day. I'm going to start by just giving you the story of the Be Love principles. And I'm going to do that because I think it is really integral to how they work. You're actually going to have your own experience of them. Anybody that's interested, you get your own experience. We're going to ask you for a little feedback on how they're working. I'm going to explain to you how I've seen it work for the past 5 years with clients and students. And then I have a really, what's very dear to me, a very special musical treat for you. So thank you all very much. I also wanted to let you know that we'll have a slide that will have all the principles on it. So as much as I love to see everybody taking notes, you can just relax. We got you covered. You'll have everything you need to be able to use this process yourself. So again, thank you so much for being here. One more thing I wanted to notice or wanted to share with you. I use the term love. To me, that is the expansive, creative, intelligence, energy that makes your heart beat and mine, that brings us all together in the oneness, that makes the flowers bloom, that makes the tides go in and out. Some people will use the term spirit, source, God, whatever works for you. Just know that for me, it's love. Feel free, as I'm talking about this, to substitute any language that works for you. So I wanted to mention that. Now, if you would just relax a few minutes, and I'm just going to share with you the way that I received the Be Love principles. With a group like this, I am sure that many of us have had beautiful, intuitive guidance. We have, at times in our life where we really needed it, we have received exactly the guidance, the direction, the clarity of purpose that we've been looking for. And I would love to tell you that's what happened to me. It wasn't. I went to a workshop with my mentor, Robert Holden, and I see some beautiful friends here in the audience today that are very familiar with Robert's work, that have gone with me with workshops with him. And we were in Toronto. And in this workshop, we were asked to imagine that we were seated on a foundation of love. Just doesn't that sound amazing? We were asked to imagine we were seated on a foundation of love. And then we were told to shut our eyes, to go into our hearts, and to ask the question, love, what would you most have me know today? Isn't that a gorgeous question? Love, what would you most have me know today? I have used that question as a journal prompt. I've used it in meditation for years, but I never got the experience that I'm going to share with you now. In the workshop, I connected to my heart, slowed my breathing, asked, love, what would you most like me to know today? And immediately I heard, be love. Then there was like a cascade of images. Some of you will remember the old film strips. And I saw these images as stills, like on a film strip. And immediately I saw myself, I'm the observer, watching myself approach my adult daughter's home. And there's 3 steps that go up to her porch. And I see a glass door, her front door. Behind the glass door is my then 15-month-old grandson, Emery. And as we saw each other, I saw him light up, he saw me light up. And for the first time ever, I saw the energy of love bouncing from my heart to his and his heart back to me. I saw the circle of love. That's the way we greeted ourselves. And I heard, Greet everyone with an open heart, without an agenda. I go into the house and I'm looking at my gorgeous little grandson, but I'm not seeing his physical form. I'm seeing an essence, this beautiful iridescent essence. And I hear, see the divine essence in everyone. Next thing that happens in this experience, we're in their little family room, and it's just Emery, that's his name, Emery and I. And again, he's 15 months old. We're playing with wooden blocks, and he's tossing a block to me, but he's not very great at throwing yet because he's only 15 months old. He hits me in the cheek. And immediately I think, he's just a kid. He didn't know what he's doing. He didn't mean anything. And again, I hear this voice clearly that says, forgive quickly, completely, and unconditionally. The next heartbeat, I'm in a darkened space. I can make out just the faintest outline of a door jamb. And I see this, what appears to be a door in this darkened space, start to just barely open. And out flows this teeming, vibrant, energetic, beautiful golden light. I've never been to Mardi Gras, but I think this is the energy of Mardi Gras. It's just joy and vibrancy and aliveness. It was almost overwhelming. And I heard, you don't understand. You're all trying to get back here, but you never left. You never left the light of the all. And just like that, it was over. I'm back in the workshop. I'm hearing the other people, right, coming out of their experiences and talking to each other. And I was just a little taken aback. I'd never had that vibrant an experience before. And I wasn't exactly sure what happened, to tell you the truth. So I went through the rest of the day, the workshop. And that evening, I'm out of town. So my husband calls. And I knew immediately something was wrong. I could hear it in his voice. As I was listening, he told me that a friend of ours had experienced the unthinkable. Our friend's wife had killed their 7-year-old child and then taken her own life. And it still obviously affects me to this day. He got off the phone. We couldn't really talk after that. We were just devastated. So the rest of the evening, I tried to make sense of what had happened, but how do you make sense of the senseless? So I tried to go to sleep because I had to get up and go to workshop. I had the rest of the weekend to go through. And I just tossed and turned. Anytime I tried to shut my eyes, I could feel the panic of that child. I could feel the hopelessness of the mother. It was unbearable. And about 3 a.m. in a hotel room by myself, I bolted up in bed and out loud, I said, I know I can't do anything about this, but how am I supposed to be with this? And I heard, be love. Greet everyone with an open heart, without an agenda. See the divine essence in everyone and everything. Forgive quickly, completely, and unconditionally. And remember, you never left the light of the all. So I got to work, and as best I could, started processing this event through the filter of what I now call the principles. I did eventually go to sleep, got up the next day, went on, but this has become a passion in my life. It's why I am so grateful that you're here, to hear and understand the process and the power of the principles. So let me share something with you if it's okay. And now that I got my glasses on, I can even see what you guys are doing in the chat. So thanks for that. You know, if you're attracted to a beautiful event like this, then you probably are very, very well aware that we are all born as beautiful, clear spirits, right? In my languaging, it's like we are just beautiful blank sheets of paper, pure, authentic, loving, open, compassionate, kind, curious. This is how we're born. And then maybe we hear mom and dad fight. Then we go to school. Then we have our heart broken the first time. Then maybe we have a job and that doesn't work out the way we need to. And we become what psychologists call the conditioned self, as opposed to the unconditioned self, right? I realized that that mother was acting from this place. And from this place, she thought her actions were justified. What the Be Love principles do start to help you unravel those crinkles and help you get back to source. If you're like me, you're still going to have a few wrinkles, but you're going to be closer to source and your perspective can be closer to source. So I appreciate the feedback. I'm glad you all like that. This is one of my favorite things. Now, what I'd love to do is offer you an experience of the principles. And if to let me know in the chat, if you guys up for that, I would love, love, love. Yay. Okay, good. I would love to be able to show that to you. And let me just set a little groundwork. I'm going to be leading you through this. But if you remember from the story I just told, forgiveness is the third principle. And quite frankly, I've had lots of clients and students that think of that as the other F word, right? Forgiveness is not the most fun. It is something that people struggle with from time to time, sometimes their whole life. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands this is a safe environment. There is no judgment here. Forgiveness is a personal choice. The way that it has been presented to me, the way the principles have presented it to me, that this is not about condoning behavior, right? This is just about shifting perspective. So as we go through this process, when we talk about this particular event that we're going to discuss, if it's something that you are ready to forgive, go through the process. If it's not, no problem. I will be giving an alternative wording for you, but there's no judgment here. That's one thing I love about communities like this, right? Everyone shows up where they are, and you cannot be more loved, treasured, or adored than you are right now. You might be more clear, have more confidence, and feel more free on the other side, but you can't be more loved or treasured than you are. Okay? All right. So here's what I invite you to do. Right before we start, I'd love for you to bring to mind a situation or a person where you might be experiencing a little bit of conflict. It could be something that happened yesterday, it could be something from 50 years ago. That's up to you. We're not going to ask any details about what your focus person or focus event is. But just go ahead and bring to mind something that's caused you a little bit of trouble. And when you have that, if you can just type a 1 in, just so I know that we've got people are ready to go. Good. Yep. Just anything. It doesn't have to be anything. Great. Good, good, good. Okay. Thank you. Here's what I'd like you to do. On a scale from 1 to 10, How at peace are you with this situation, with this focus, person, or event right now? 1 is, I want to slap somebody. I'm not at peace. I'm not at peace at all. And 10 is, I am blissed out, riding a unicorn over a rainbow. And if you're at 10, pick something else. That's not what we're going to do today. Okay. All right. And you can just keep your notes to yourself. This is just for you. Well, however it is, but I just would like you to find a focus person or a focus event. Okay. And you know how much at peace you are. All right. Okay. I would invite you to go ahead, be comfortably seated. If it works for you, feet on the ground. Settle down in your chair. If it's comfortable, shut your eyes, knowing that we have created this container of peace, of love, of safety for you. If it's comfortable for you, you can put your hand on your heart. And I just want you to imagine that you are breathing in the energy of love. I like to imagine I'm bringing it in through the back of my heart and out through the front. Sometimes I've got medical people in the audience and that freaks them out. So you do what works for you. Just imagine you are breathing love in and out. Breathing love in and out. Good. If it's comfortable for you, you can let that hand drop comfortably in your lap. Just want you to be very, very comfortable. With eyes shut, again, if it's comfortable for you, I'm going to ask you to ask yourself questions. This will be in the sacred space of your own heart. We are not communicating this with each other. You're going to be asking questions of love from that sacred space of your own heart. Bring to mind your focus person or event. And I want you to just gently ask to yourself, show me how to greet this person or event with an open heart without an agenda. Show me how to greet this person or event with an open heart without an agenda. And just relax. We're not taking notes. You're just noticing. There's no right or wrong here. Just breathe into it. Trusting that anything you need to know will be presented to you in the absolute perfect time and space. Good. Take another centering breath. Breathe love in through your heart. Relax. And again, in that sacred space of your own heart, ask, show me the divine essence here. Show me the divine essence here. Just relax. Remember to breathe. Great. Good. Now, breathing love back in through your heart. Gently follow my voice. If you are open to forgiveness, then in that sacred space of your own heart, repeat after me. Show me the opportunities for forgiveness here. Show me my forgiveness opportunities here. Breathe. If that's not quite where you are yet, I invite you to say this. Show me what it would feel like to be open to forgiveness. Show me what it would be like to be open to forgiveness. Continue to breathe, trusting in that beautiful force that connects us all, bringing you the answers when and wherever they're ready, you're ready for them and they're ready to be given. Good. Now, again, breathe love in through your heart and out. Breathe love in through the heart and out. And I'd like you to imagine that you are in a beautiful, safe, open space. And there is a gorgeous, iridescent, golden column of light that comes to you and around you, 15 feet all the way around you. You are bathed in this light. You're safe. You can feel this iridescent energy of love, of kindness, of oneness, gently coming in through your crown chakra. You can feel it caressing your face, coming in through your head. There is this gorgeous light of the divine, gently, ever so gently, going down through your head, through your neck, cascading over your shoulders, down into your body. And you realize that this light is reminding every cell that they are love. You can imagine that every cell in your body starts to sing the song of Source. Let that continue to flow down your legs into your feet, reminding your physical body that you never left the light of the all. You are part of the oneness. You feel it. Your skin, your bones, your cells, you are resonating with the light of the all, your true essence. Breathe that in. Imagine that light is coming in, filling your lungs, circulating all through your body, feeding every organ, every cell with this light. Knowing you are safe, you are in the place of Source. If you are ready, I invite you to invite your focus person or event into the circle with you. Again, this isn't to condone behavior, not condoning behavior of the ego, but if you're willing, this reminds you of the oneness from the Source. If you're comfortable, I invite you to bring that focus person or event, a symbol of the event, into the circle with you now. And let's just sit here a moment, bathed in that light, in the love, in the compassion, in the understanding, in the awareness of truth. Good. Breathe that in. Great. Now, we're going to start coming out of that. So I invite you, take a nice deep breath in. Breathe that all the way down to your toes. Wiggle those toes. Wiggle your fingers. Shrug your shoulders. Come back into your body. Come back into the room. When you are ready, open your eyes. And if you need to reorient, put your gaze on a particular spot in the room so that you bring your awareness right here. Let's just take a couple breaths. I appreciate your willingness to go through that process and allow me to share this gift that the principles have given to me for your benefit, for the benefit of us all. As we're reorienting, what I'd like you to do is bring that focus person or event to your mind and just, where are you now? What score would you give? How much at peace are you now with that person or event? And realize sometimes people have a massive shift, sometimes they don't. There's no right or wrong. I have even had a situation many times, actually, especially when I'm on stage in person, where I'll get an email a couple days later saying, you know, that weird thing you did with when you were on stage? I felt it today, 3 days later, and now I get it. So however it works for you is how it works. But just notice how that was for you. So I am curious, not about the specifics, because that's you. You could type in the chat, was there anything you noticed? For most of you, this is going to be a new practice, and first time you do something, it can be a little clunky, even these beautiful spiritual practices. What kind of things did you notice? What came up for you? I really appreciate the feedback. Yep, feeling lighter. Oh, had some tears. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So many times people feel a difference, and sometimes it takes a little while, to be honest with you. Also, I wanted to just mention, I took you through this pretty quickly because I really wanted to give you a taste of what can happen with the principles before I go on and explain some of the things that we found. Oh my goodness, you all are typing now. Oh, compassion, tears. Like the golden light. Yep, that's my favorite. Oh, wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate how vulnerable you are in your sharing. And this is the kind of healing that helps us all. My belief is that when one of us has a new revelation or a healing, we all benefit. So I am deeply grateful and appreciate that you're sharing like this. Thank you. For me, and for what I've seen my clients and students express, this process, usually if we're coming from a place where there's a conflict, takes us from that constricted ego view, right, to a more expanded divine view. Just helps us shift perspective. Now, I'm sure this group is probably pretty familiar with the work of David Hawkins. And that's somebody that I reference an awful lot. Especially when I'm speaking to groups where they really love understanding that this kind of practice shifts from a neurological perspective, right? It shifts where our perspective is in the brain. That is a beautiful part of this. And that's something that I really, really love. I do want to share that although I'm the beloved principles lady, I still struggle with this stuff sometimes. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it, but I have a bracelet that says be loved. And I can tell you that there will be many times, even today, when I work with this stuff every day, where my husband and I will be having a spirited discussion. And he'll say, what's that bracelet say? What is that? And I'll go, oh, I forgot. So I use these every day, and still my humanness comes through. So I would invite you to use this as one of your tools to help bring you back to that loving place. For me, I use them. I love to use the principles individually. You can use them individually as a process. So for example, when I first got these, I didn't know what to do with them. And I was still in that integration phase. So I remember I've got notebooks here where for an entire week, I would pick a principle. So first principle, greet everyone with an open heart without an agenda. So for a week, that would be my goal. And I'll be real honest with you, it's pretty easy to do with strangers. You know, the guy that I see in the grocery store, or somebody who's passing me on the street, not a problem. I quickly realized how many judgments that I unconsciously bring to things, because I would catch myself. Oh, wait a minute, you got an agenda with that guy. You got an agenda with that. So even that awareness helped me move past it, because I realized I wasn't coming from love if I had an agenda. And I worked through every week. I would pick another one and I would work through that. I have found over the years that each of them are powerful. I found particularly forgiveness shifts for me in a different way if I've used the first and the second one. If I've greeted people with an open heart and I've looked to see their divine essence, then forgiveness is a different type of process for me. But I have to say, boy, being in the light of the all, that's sometimes I will just sit in light and imagine I am light sitting in light. It's one of my favorite ways to use this. So you can use it that way. I journal with them. I wake up and the very first thing before my feet hit the floor is I pray the principles. Show me, just like I led you through it, show me how to do this, do that. That's how I do it. As a matter of fact, we have a slide that shows the principles, and this would be a great time for us to share that, Galen. And what I would love to do, there it is what ideas would you have? How could you see maybe using these principles? I've mentioned journaling, meditating. I had one client that actually loved using these as a walking meditation. Where could you possibly see, or how could you possibly see incorporating these into your daily life? What might that look like? And thank you so much, Teresa, for putting all these up there. I know one of the things that I have come to share with that has been wonderful for myself is, if you look at those principles, I take each of those and use them for mirror work. So one of the early practices is I would go into a mirror and practice greeting myself, looking myself in the eyes in a mirror and greeting myself with an open heart without an agenda. Yeah. Looking to see my own divine essence, seeing how to forgive myself. Mirror work has been really powerful. That's one of the ones that I've used an awful lot. And if you have any ideas on how you might use them, I would love to see you share those. Here's something else that I wanted to just quickly mention. And we can go ahead and stop sharing that slide now because you all will have that. Thank you. I will use these not only with people that I'm in conflict with or have a conflict or a situation, but you can use the principles. I call it, bringing it to the principles, your finances, your health, political events, or any kind of situation that you want to seek, you want greater understanding around. At first, I used it really with things that we were in conflict with. But as the work has morphed, what I understand is I can use the principles to situations or people that I already love and adore and have great feelings about, and it brings that even higher. So anything I found, you can bring to the principles, either individually or as a process. And they are just really, really powerful. So I have something I wanted to share with you as well. And this is a little different. Let me see a 1 in the chat if you have received guidance that you didn't necessarily want to follow. Is it just me, or is anybody else done that? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. So I would love to tell you that I just, whenever I hear anything from Spirit, I just do it exactly when I'm told. That would not be the case. I am very human. And in December of 2019, in meditation, I heard to create a case study around the Be Love principles. So why am I sharing that with you today? It's because I want to really show you how these principles, if they appeal to you, can work for you in your life. That's my motivation behind sharing this case study with you. It was very small. I had just sent out maybe 2 notices in my email group in December, mind you, and said, hey, going to do this little case study around the principles. If you're interested, let me know. It turned out to be a very small study. And again, they were people that were connected with me. I interviewed everybody before, not everybody I accepted into the study. They were asked, participants were asked to be, you had a pre-interview with where they were, what was going on in their life, and a post-interview. This was a 3-month study. And every week for 12 weeks, they were asked to fill out what I now call the Be Love weekly check-in sheet. And you all can have access to that if you're interested. I was guided, right, to do that. All of the criteria on that came from Spirit. That's a big ask. They were also asked to use the principles 5 out of 7 days in any way they wanted. There was very little discussion. I didn't tell them how to do anything. We met a few times as a group, and I would give them general direction. So at one time it was, this next 2 weeks, I'd like you to use it specifically on relationships with family or coworkers. And then we did one that had to do with career. Very, 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 very broad. So my study started January 2020. So you guys know where I'm headed with this. Everybody knows what's happening. So here I am in my study, and I'm meeting with these people. I'm getting feedback forms every week where they would scale 1 to 10, just like I had you do, in these particular categories. And they could write me explanations of what was going on for their week if they wanted. And what I found was really amazing. And this is what I think would be so helpful for you or anyone that's interested in using these consistently. If you remember, January, we kind of heard about COVID, especially here on the East Coast. West Coast, you were hearing it a lot sooner than we were. February, you know what was going on by the end of February, March. Here I'm in Virginia. We were doing the lockdowns in April. So there was increasing anxiety, fear. We didn't know what was going on. We had no idea what lockdown meant. We didn't know anything. So I want you to remember just the confusion that was around that. When I put together the data from this study over those first 3 months of 2020, yeah, I just couldn't believe it. As a group, the self-love, people who felt an increase in love for themselves, that went up by 14%. 14%. their feelings of peace. Now, I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people were not feeling peace at the beginning of 2020. That went up 17%. Their happiness, and I can tell you, I had a couple stay-at-home moms who were not happy about school being out, but still happiness went up 14%. I had the life situation, their idea of, what their life was like, that went up 17%. But the next two data points really blew me out of the water. When so many people around the globe were terrified and in confusion and chaos, their feelings of connection increased by 29%. And the one that really blew me out of the water, their sense of clarity increased as a group 60%. That's why I am so confident that the people that choose to use this tool, we're so blessed. There's so many wonderful tools. This is just one. Using this tool consistently increases that sense of peace, calm, clarity about who you are and what you're here to do now, how you're here to contribute to this beautiful new world we're all creating together. This is one tool that just gives you extra information about that. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty exciting. I think that's pretty amazing. I have followed up with lots of those folks, and they continued even through the lockdowns, the multiple lockdowns, the deaths, the sicknesses, the losses that they endured individually and as a group and as communities. That sense of peace, love, clarity was a through line, was a golden thread that continues to be woven through their lives and in the lives of people that choose to use this, along with all the other wonderful tools we have. So I do have one more little special treat for you. But before we do that, let's take a second. I want that to just kind of integrate, because I really want to get across that it's wonderful to be here, to listen, to understand the story, but this is a powerful tool that you can use and share with everybody you love. That is a transformational tool of oneness, of coherence. If you have any questions or anything you want me to clarify before we have a little video we're going to show, I would love for you to share it in the chat now. And I really, really appreciate everything. Everyone making this happen behind the scenes. Teresa, thank you so much. Thank you, Jennifer. Will there be a replay? I sure hope so.
Yes, always. It goes right out afterwards, for sure. That way you can share it with other people in your life that you might want to practice this with. I think that's nice sometimes, especially somebody that we might be having a little bit of a challenge with, to say, hey, I got an idea that will help us. Like, let's practice this together and see what we can do. So absolutely, for sure. And I loved how in your story, Diane, like love gives us what we need, like right as we need it. Like for you to have that experience and with your grandson, where it was undeniable, the quality of love that was there. And then to have the tragedy hit you, so that immediately the application of those, it wasn't just an idea, it was a real, like, living challenge that you needed to embrace, and a horrible one, right? So that's when love gives us exactly what we need to get through what we're moving through. And what an incredibly challenging and potentiated moment we're in. Both, we can feel it falling away and rising up all at the same time.
And to know that we're all getting this direction from love. Mm-hmm. in so many different ways, in so many different ways. And that's why programs like this are so important, because now we are so blessed to be in a time where we can share things like that, instead of me just being a crazy little lady in Virginia talking to somebody at the grocery store, right? About, ooh, that's interesting. We can find hearts that are ready to open further in love
Mhm.
with all of these tools that we have. How exciting is that? To me, this is such an exciting time to be alive, and it is so exciting. We're all exactly where we're supposed to be in our life cycle.
Mm.
That's what's exciting to me as well.
Yeah. I know we talk about this, that when we're in a state of coherence, when we're really connected with our breath and our heart, that we're able to respond instead of react to what's happening, that we are more connected to what our unique contribution is, because each of us is a little light in this field.
Yeah.
And if we give our best, if we give our love, if we express from our hearts, then we're doing what life called us here to do right now and is needed most from us. So that's why we come together in this practice.
Oh, I love the way that you said that. You know, it reminds me that, and this experience that I had just reminds me, I don't have to do it myself. This is nothing my little ego could do. That force that is within all of us knows exactly where we're supposed to be, knows exactly what we're here to do, and our unique contribution
Yeah.
to the whole.
Yeah.
I just get excited about this stuff, y'all. It really just, I just love it.
It's been fun. I love having you here. And I want to know if Frank Rasiri, is that how you say your name? Is that a friend of yours? Because the smile on Frank's face the whole time that you have been talking has been just pretty amazing. I'm going to ask you to unmute Frank just so you can.
Well, he's my friend now, I'll tell you that much.
Frank.
He's
Oh my
my
God.
friend now.
Frank, I just have been watching you, and I love seeing, thank you for those of you who turned on your cameras today, because it's so heartwarming to see some familiar faces and new faces, and know that we're all here taking this time out so we can nourish ourselves and add some good energy to the planet. And Frank, just your smile the whole time, shaking your head, totally engaged, was really just nourishing for me. So I wanted to bring you on and say thank you.
Wow. Well, I love you too. And thank you so much. This is fantastic. I came in from chainsawing, so I look awful.
You look beautiful.
My son is a forester. I know exactly what happens when you chainsaw. No problems, Frank.
Well, thanks for lighting me up, you guys. I mean, this is beautiful.
Aw.
Thank you.
Frank, do you have a comment or a question you want to do before I send off your?
Oh my God, just how true, Diane, how true this all is, and that we need millions of people to do this. Thank you. Yeah.
Aw, thank you, Frank. Keep smiling, my friend.
Thank you. That's our prayer.
Would
That's
anybody
our
else
prayer.
like to share something with Diane, like a question or a comment? I'd love to open your mic. All you have to do is like raise your hand. There's like a little raise your hand button, or you can kind of wave if I'm cruising through. I see so many of our familiar faces, but anybody that might want to share. Karen, did the cat stay around? I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go. Whoops.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
Hi, Karen.
Yeah, Ozzy, he kept coming up and down, and he's now on the floor just kind of looking, and he's heard Diane's voice before, so he's like, oh, that's a familiar friend.
Good to see you, friend.
You
Thank you
too.
for being here.
Oh, anytime. Anytime I just had a couple rough things, going on in my life, and Diane, I've got to spend lots of time with Diane, and it's these simple, beautiful practices that, when we're in that whirlwind sometimes, the simple, it doesn't feel like things can be simple. But when we go back to these things, it just stops the tornado. And, so that's what I love about this. The simplicity makes it so that you can go to it. And, that's what we all need, because it can get a little crazy out there. So I'm very grateful to call Diane a friend and to be here today. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you,
Oh.
Karen. It's lovely to have you with us.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Thank
add
you.
another friend, Marcy, who's always with us in the pulses and other things. Marcy, lovely to see you. Thanks for
Oh, thank
raising your
you.
hand.
Yeah, no, this has been a great experience. Thank you so much. Yeah, and without going into a lot of detail, though, while we were doing the filling ourselves with light and being love, and then bringing that person in focus who happened to be my nephew within, he's, let's just say, got a very difficult situation where he may be going to prison, which the whole family was pretty shocked about, and it affects everybody, his house and my brother and all of that. But the point being that when he came in, his light was so small, he really needed my love. So, and I gave it to him.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Marcy, you've inspired us. Let's actually just take this feeling that we all have right now. Whether we know someone that needs our love right now, we can send it directly to them, or we can just invite love to go everywhere that it needs to go today.
Much love to everybody. I'm really feeling it.
Thank you,
In full
Marcy.
energy.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks.
you're always so willing to share your heart in such a beautiful way. I appreciate that about you. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing so authentically and for putting up your little cartoon hand. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, we do have one more thing to do, Miss Teresa.
Let's play the song.
Yeah, I actually worked with a friend of mine who Karen and I both know through our friend Robert Holden. And he is a beautiful songwriter out of Nashville, and we created a Be Love song. So I am so thrilled to be able to share that with you today. And as a doting grandmother, I want to let you know that that's my little grandbaby's picture that you're going to see at the end. So I'll be happy to see how y'all tell me how cute he is, but he's going to be at the end. So we'll watch that right now. Thank you.
Love, what do you most want me to know today? There are principles to post. I heard a voice say, greet everyone with an open heart, without an agenda. See their divine essence, and always remember, be loved in these times of tears, be loved in the face of fear, forgive quickly and completely, forever, unconditionally. Be love and know from the fall you've never left the light of the all. Be love to everything you see. Be love and live in peace. Standing on sacred mountain, I feel my foundation rising up like a fountain as I sing my declaration, looking upon the new earth. Imagine my surprise, seeing love's reflection dancing in my eyes. Be love in these times of tears. Be love in the face of fear. Forgive quickly and completely, forever unconditionally. Be love and know from the fall you've never left the light of the all. Be love to everything you see. Be love, live in peace. Day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment, be empowered. Live from the light, the love you are, and shine from your heart. Oh, shine. Be love in these times of tears. Be love in the face of fear. Forgive quickly and completely, forever unconditionally. Be love and know from the fall you've never left the light of the all. Be love to everything you see. Be love and live in peace. Be love to everything you see. Be love and live in peace. Be love.
What a cutie.
Yeah, he's a big boy now, but I'm going to put the YouTube link in there if anybody wants to listen to that again.
I was just getting that one ready too. That was
Here's
beautiful.
the
We'll
link.
have to listen to it at the very end again. That would be so fun as a way to go out.
Yeah, that's, you know, I wanted to just mention part of what happens with the Be Love principles or anything that's infused with love is the expansive quality. Never in a million years did I think I would be helping to write a song or find somebody that can put those beautiful images to it. And love just put the exact right people in place. And so it's just so amazing to me the way these tools, these messages of love that are meant and infused with the purpose of bringing us together just continue to expand. And that's what these do in my life. And I would really invite you to try them in yours. And again, share them, share the song. Yeah, I love the idea of sitting down with friends and replaying the part where we lead you through the exercise. There's actually quite a few meditations on YouTube under my channel, and they're all for you. They're all for you. So I am happy to answer any questions, or I just am so thrilled to be able to share the principles and that song with you today.
Aw, so sweet. There's another face that just has been calling me out, and I don't know how to say your name.
Aw.
Beautiful. Hello.
Good.
How do you
Yes.
say it?
Sitske.
Sitske. I
Yes,
love
that's
seeing you on the Pulse today. You're just
you.
you feel so sweet and beautiful, and I wanted to just see your face a little closer up.
Okay.
Did
Thank
you
you for
enjoy
being
the
here.
session today?
I'm from Holland,
Oh, wonderful.
and I'm very glad that there is a replay because of a call. I was a little late, so I can see it then from the beginning again. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's so nice to have you with us. And it's nighttime there, yes?
Yes, it's
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for joining today.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Deborah, it's nice to see you always. You knew I was going to bring you on. I could see you were feeling me just as I was doing it, weren't you?
Yes. It was beautiful. I feel that it's a powerful tool for self-forgiveness also.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you for sharing that.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
really beautiful. Oh, thank you, Deborah. It's always lovely to see you. Happy
Thank you.
Peace Week.
Thank you
Yes.
for being here today. Thank you for being here today.
I love seeing all of these beautiful faces. It's so nice. We shifted over. Patricia, how about we say hello to you? It's so nice when we shifted over to a meeting line so that we could see each other's beautiful faces, right?
Thank you. It's been
Patricia,
wonderful.
you've been on Global Coherence Pulses and so many other things for a long time, and I always appreciate your consistent
Yes.
presence. Yeah, thank you.
I'm guided to breathe in my heart and send love to whatever I'm feeling that makes me feel off.
Ah,
Mm.
perfect.
Mm.
That's my guidance, to stay heart-centered and send love to it. I've had some upper respiratory stuff a little bit, but it's not severe. It's I guess I'm releasing something
Yeah.
from my lungs, you know,
Beautiful.
but it's not severe. I'm okay.
Thank you, Patricia. We love you. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being
Great
here.
being with everyone. Yes.
thank you. How about Frida? Another beautiful smiley face. You're muted, so let's see if I'll have you unmute there. Oops, we can't hear you.
Special
for some reason.
experience.
There you go.
I'm really feeling the love and yeah, I'm really touched. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Frida, for joining us today and being on. It's really good to have your energy in the field for everybody that's come today. Yeah. Diane, do you have anything just like you want to just take us away with before we go and look at your websites, and just any last kind of closing words to take in our hearts with us?
You come from love, in love, to live love. That's why we're here. And each of us are called to live love in our own unique way. My friend Karen has heard me say this. To me, it's like we're all ice cream and we're different flavors. Some of us are Rocky Road, some of us are Tutti Frutti, some of us are strawberry or chocolate. It's all flavors of love, and your flavor, your unique contribution is needed right now. And I love what you said about, I just am called to spread love through my heart. That's it. And Karen, you mentioned, these are simple processes. They are simple. And I think that is why sometimes, not in this group perhaps, but sometimes people discount how simple love makes it for us. Right? We don't need 25 PhDs or we just, all we need to have is an intention, to have an open heart, to see that divine essence in each of us when we may have been paying attention to actions of a hurt ego. How can we, to ourselves as well, greet ourselves and everyone with an open heart, without an agenda, to see the divine essence in everyone and everything, forgive quickly, completely, unconditionally, and remember, we never left the light of the all. So thank you so much for allowing me to come and tell you my story and share this with you. It is my passion that as many people across the planet understand what these are and use them as they are called to. So thank you. Tell everybody you know. Everybody.
I like that. Is it an action from hurt or is it an action from my heart? That's a really, like, if we stop for just a moment and breathe and ask that question, then we know that how we're going to respond has at least our awareness. Yeah.
I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and one of the things the Course says is if you're not at peace, then you're not in the love space, right? So that has been a really wonderful way for me to gauge. I might really want to tell my husband something, but that's my ego reacting to whatever my little ego was reacting to. It's not the truth of who he is or who I am. And the more I stay, as best I can, moment to moment, day by day, living from that foundation of love, the more I'm contributing to the field in the way that I want to. And then we all amplify each other. How exciting is that?
Beautiful. Well, Kaylin, let's bring up Diane's website so that everybody has a sense. And Diane, you can kind of, as he brings that up, you can kind of tell us what do we click on? Where do we go to get the information we need? Yes. And if you enjoyed today, how about some ones in the chat as we're doing that? So I love these when you do these click trees. So you like everything you could imagine.
Aren't they? Isn't that easy? And that is, I'll put that in the chat. That is more from Diane. Because that one is just super easy. It's got everything that I've got. There's some free gifts. That free weekly review tool, that's the survey I used in the case study.
Nice.
And that's how I now, for myself and for my clients and friends, that's how I teach them how to stay on track, how to evaluate, right? What measure. And that has been a really, really integral tool. And then I have, a free workbook and meditation, that's Be Love. I would love for you all to take advantage of any of those things. And there's my social media stuff. So you can go to my YouTube, see interviews. I've got lots of interviews that I've done. There's just lots of fun stuff there. And it would be my honor for you to see what really speaks to you. And then let me know if there's something else you need. I really appreciate it.
I love it. I love that you have feedback there. So if anybody wants to share, and I love the title of your book. I mean, sometimes titles really get you. I mean, How to Choose Love When You Just Want to Slap Somebody. That's such a good one because we've all been there.
That's not the title I was going to have for that book, but Spirit's the one that gave me that. Love gave me that title. And I bet a lot of your audience is going to understand. I wrote that after shepherding my dad through the last 2 years of his life, where I never, let me just say this, I never hit anyone, but I was frustrated. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I really went inside, calmed down, used meditation and the tools that I explained there, that I was able to help him and myself and the family move through that process with love.
Nice.
But it is a good title, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't think it up. It came
Thank
to
you,
me.
Kaylin, for sharing that. That's
Thank
so
you.
perfect. Everything's there that you would need. And yeah, let's share this really good tool with the world by sharing this link, sharing what you experienced today, and mostly just sharing your love today. Like everywhere that you go, take this energy that we've generated together as a community and shine it out into the world on everybody that you come into contact with, and with just every plant and animal and everything out in the field. There's so much love that we can share in the field. And you know what else? It's share our joy. It's time that we shared our joy into the field, because sometimes we have a lot of love, but we need that energy of joy to kind of uplift us so that we can make good choices. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for adding your love to the field. I love all the ones. That was really fun to engage you in that way. We're really happy. Have a blessed day. Please keep sharing the Global Coherence Pulse and your heart with the world. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Have a lovely day. Bye, everybody.